My name is Mike Mangano. I live at 1460 Old Hickory Lane, Lebanon, Pennsylvania, 17046. Behind Walmart off of 15th Avenue. So never in a million years did I think I would be here about this. It's about my wife and I were getting a divorce. She's been having an affair, and it's with one of your deputy county sheriffs. His name is Christopher Allen Houck. Now, the thing here is that, you know, I got into my wife's Facebook Messenger and I seen these very sexually explicit messages going back and forth between the two while he was on the clock. He was talking about court cases, he was talking about his work and the things that he does. I had a meeting with the sheriff, Bruce Klingler, who's been very gracious to me, and he asked me some questions and went down the list. When we had our first meeting, he asked me a few questions, and you know, from what I remember, one of them was, do I know of anything criminal that Christopher Allen Houck is doing? My answer was no. He said, do you notice anything about your wife, any abuse or this or that? He asked me questions about her, and I said, no, I don't see anything there. And then the third question was, do you know or are you aware of anything that he is doing while on the clock, while on county time? And at that time, I said no, because I didn't have any proof, I didn't know anything. So news about this broke for me July 8th. And that's when I started doing my own investigation, you know, internally at my own house with cell phones and AT&T records and all that stuff. So I found his number on my AT&T log, and I thought that's odd because I don't recognize that number. And then when I called it, you know, it was his number. So, you know, this was like looking like it was just all done on personal time, and it was a personal thing, and, you know, what am I going to do? And for some reason, my wife's phone stopped working one night, and she switched to another phone, and she was constantly messaging him all day, still does. She's still in the house right now. She'll be leaving soon, thank God. But anyway, one morning I woke up, getting ready for work, getting ready to bring my kid to school, and she was getting ready for work. And lo and behold, her phone was there on my headboard charging, and it was unlocked. And I said to myself, what did I do to deserve this? This is awesome. So I get into her phone, which it's a family phone. It's my phone, her phone, you know, vice versa. You know, it's a family plan. And that's when I get into these messages between Christopher Allen Houck and my wife, which went back to August 16th. And they've been communicating a lot longer than that, but this is all that I had in the messenger. So from August 16th all the way to August 31st. And then as I studied these messages and was reading them, you know, over and over again, I noticed, hey, wait a minute. This guy's on the clock. And so this is why I'm here, because in my tax-paying opinion, this is not only conduct unbecoming from, you know, a public, you know, law enforcement official. This stuff should not be done, but he was also doing it on the clock. I don't know if you've seen any of the information yet. I know I've handed it in to Jamie, and I've handed it in to the sheriff. Have any of you seen any of the information yet?
Yes, we have.
Okay. So this gets so, you know, to me, it just hits at the core, because, you know, sometimes people from the outside looking in, they say, well, why are you doing this, Mike? This seems like revenge. No, it's not revenge. This is exposing somebody who's in a public position who should not be doing this while on the job. So I'm simply wanting to expose and reveal this type of person, in my opinion, that has a lack of judgment and a lack of integrity. This gets so serious that I've actually sent an email also, because I have a lot of military friends. I have a lot of law enforcement friends. I mean, I know a lot of people. I'm in business for myself for quite a few years. You know, the owner of Goomba Sauce. We're in about 200-300 stores. So I'm kind of a higher profile type of guy. I mean, for my wife to do something like this, and for this guy to do something like this, I think was pretty unwise, considering, you know, who I am in the public, just being a prominent business person. So I've even sent an email to the highest people in his National Guard chain of command. to his general and also to his sergeant, because from what I understand, there is a non-commissioned officer creed that they are to be living up to, and again, he's not living up to this creed. So for me, it's just about exposing, Christopher Allen Houck, and just, sharing with the world, what he is doing and has done and continues to do. Now, since then, my wife, she always has her phone locked. It's always in her pocket. I can't get into it anymore. I only had that brief moment in time, that 2 to 3 hours where I was able to get in there and really see, what was going on. And again, we're talking probably 3 to 4, 4 to 5 conversations while he was on the clock, talking about court cases, talking about, oh, I just got off a warrant, one in custody, another weapons confiscation, him telling her about his work throughout the day while on all of our taxpayer dollars. So basically, in my mind, and I'm just going to word it like this, I look at it as, so we have approximately 160 to 170,000, whatever our population is in Lebanon County taxpayers paying for Chris to have an affair with my wife. And I just think the world should know. And this is why everybody should really watch what they do and be very careful, because this is not good at all. So, I've already obtained legal counsel. I'm definitely getting divorced. And it's a shame because, we're talking 22 years here, of marriage. And in my mind, I even wanted to work it out. But I got to tell you, if we're going to give a percentage here, 80-20, 90-10, yeah, sure, 80-90% my wife's fault. But that 10%, that 20% that Christopher, so nicely, contributed, put the wedge in there. Like, yeah, I would have been willing to work it out, but you can't work it out when you have also somebody who is, you can look at the messages, he's also chasing her. So what's a man supposed to do? So I figure, we're gonna expose this guy for what he's doing while on the job. And I also have some other legal representation that I'm looking at, some other issues as well. I mean, look, I'm a stand-up guy. I've been faithful to my wife for all those years. Now I have a loss of consortium. It's just, it's a really crappy situation.
Okay. All right. Just as just a little bit of information, the county commissioners are elected officials, but our sheriff and our treasurer, our prothonotary, they are also elected officials, and they have a lot of autonomy. We do not tell the sheriff what to do. The only real control, if we control these folks, is that we control the money that goes into their departments. But that, of course, is done in a collegial way and to best serve the public. So if you're looking for any action or anything, that would probably come from the sheriff himself or
Yes.
the sheriff's department. So
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure you understood.
Yeah.
That. Okay.
I just wanted to, from what I understand, that you use where everybody works together. So I wanted to make sure that I am notifying all parties of what's going on and potentially, what the outcome may be as well.
Okay.
You know.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to me.
Okay.